and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you all of my knitting winter plans and inspiration. If you're new here, my name is Stine. I am a knitter living in Norway, in Oslo, and on this channel I share all of my knitting plans, inspiration, all my projects. I do a monthly podcast episode and in between episodes with more inspiration and a lot of fun content. As I told you, I will be sharing a lot of my winter plans and inspiration. I am still sick, so my voice is still quite nasal, but I can't wait until I get all well because apparently I'm just not supposed to be well this season, so you'll just have to bear with my weird nasally voice for some time yet. As I mentioned, I will be sharing all of my winter plans and inspirations. There is no way I will get through all of these projects, which is why I'm calling it inspiration as well, in the hope that some of you might find some interesting projects to add to your winter knitting list this year. So for winter, I'm kind of counting from the middle of November until like at least the end of February, maybe a bit into March. Winter in Norway is quite unpredictable. You never know how long it will last. Sometimes it lasts all through Easter and even further. Next year Easter is quite late, so I'm hoping we will be nearing spring when Easter arrives. So yeah, these are some of the projects I really want to cast on and get started the next few months. As usual, I've broken these into some categories, and the first category is called something structured. So there are loads of beautiful structured knits out there, and I always crave them when winter comes along. There is something about cables and structure that just screams winter. They are so cozy and nice, and I have gathered 4 pieces that I just think is really beautiful and that I would love to knit this season. So the first one is the Esther sweater by Petite Knit. I think this is just such a classic and simple design, and it would go with a lot of the stuff I already have in my wardrobe. I have asked for yarn for this for Christmas, so I'm interested to see if that pops up under the Christmas tree or maybe if there will be some gift cards, who knows. I would love to knit this in Jensen and Isager Silk Mohair. I believe those are the original yarns as well. I like the Esther jacket as well, but the thing is, with these kinds of diamond patterns that are on the sweater, I suck at knitting them flat because I can never understand when I'm like increasing or decreasing in the pattern. Like, when are we going in and out? So I would rather just knit it in the round because that would be so much easier for me to keep track of, which is why I would love to make the sweater version of the Esther and not the jacket. I'm envisioning this in like a light gray, which would go really well with my summer color palette, or like my color season. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if this yarn pops up under the tree, and if I get to cast this on, maybe it would be like in the middle of Christmas. We'll see. Next on my list is a project I already have yarn for, and that is the jacket number 2 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I couldn't resist buying yarn for this. I went for Sol by Hillesvåg, which is Norwegian lamb's wool. It's quite thick and beautiful and luscious and quite soft as well. I went for this like dark grayish blue, and I think it will be just beautiful. I love cables in dark colors. I think they look really well. Like, black is too much, but a dark blue is really beautiful. My daughter has a Moby sweater in navy blue, and that is just gorgeous, so I wanted something structured for myself in a dark blue as well. And I've already swatched for this project, so you are going to get a sneak peek. I will be sharing more details about this in a regular podcast episode. I won't linger too long on this for now. I hope you're able to see that the lighting isn't too bad. The jacket number 2 is genius because keeping track of lots of different cables and patterns isn't like the easiest when you don't have a lot of knitting time. I'm quite dependent on my charts and all of my instructions in front of me when I knit something like this. I can't just remember. But this project does all of the twists on the same round, so there aren't like lots of different numbers to keep track of. So this is a perfect project to start with, and I believe this would be a great like first cable project as well. So yeah, I really recommend it. I think this will just be really, really gorgeous. Next up is also from my favorite things knitwear, and that is the sweater number 20. I saw Oline making this, Norwegian knitter, I believe is her channel, and it is just so gorgeous. Unlike the jacket number 2, the sweater number 20 has different cables, and I believe those would be twisted at different points. So there are more to keep track of, but again, you're knitting in the round, so that might be just a tad easier because of that. So I'm keeping that on my list. I don't know what color I would knit this in. I would love to do like a creamy, like quite basic color. I think a creamy cable sweater is really beautiful, but I would have to find some white or some cream that fits my coloring and fits within my color season. I know that two like light beiges and creams just is really off-putting. Always when I've made something in these colors and I've worn them, I look in the mirror and something is just off, which is why I got my color analysis done in the first place. So I'll have to do some digging and find out if there's some kind of like cream color that isn't too yellow that would suit my my color season. Last up on my structured knits list is the Dagmar sweater by Petite Knit. I just couldn't leave this off the list. It is so gorgeous and chunky and really, really cool. Again, I would prefer to do the sweater and not the jacket, just because I believe knitting this in the round would be easier for me to keep track of. Yeah, it is just gorgeous. I would probably try to find some different yarn though, because I didn't like the colors for the original yarn, which is in quite a limited color range. I believe that's because they're all like natural colors, they aren't dyed or anything. Sol is a good substitute for that håndverksgarn, and a lot cheaper as well when you're buying it in Norway. So buying Norwegian wool is naturally a lot cheaper than buying Danish wool at the moment. The exchange rate is just ridiculous, so I would probably find some Norwegian wool from like Røma or Himmelsvåg or someone like that. I don't know what color I would do it in. There are really beautiful versions in like charcoal. I think those would be a bit too dark for me. So I would have to do some research to figure out what color I wanted in. But this isn't like on the top of my list anyway. I would probably do, obviously I'm doing the jacket number 2 first, and then I would do the Esther, and then I would have to see if I have time for any more like big projects during winter. The next section is slipovers, and I've recently fallen in love with the patterns and yarn and buttons and everything from Fabel Knitwear. So this list consists of 3 of her slipovers and no other slipovers. So the first one is the Gondor vest, and I just love that she names her patterns and everything from like books, and they have all of these literary references and stuff, and I just think it goes really well with the season. I started rereading Lord of the Rings a couple of years ago, I believe 2 years ago, while I was pregnant. Wow, it's been 2 years since the Christmas I was pregnant. That is crazy. Anyway, I started listening to the audiobooks that are narrated by Andy Serkis, and I think I got like into the middle of the Two Towers, and then Christmas was over. But maybe I should like get back on that train. So the Gondor vest is a negative east vest, and I could get away with knitting this with 1 skein of hand-dyed, I believe, which would be perfect for getting some of the hand-dyed out of my stash. So I've pulled these 2, which I got from Lille Lille Advent Calendar last year. I didn't get the Advent Calendar this year just because I still have skeins left from last year, and I just couldn't, my conscience just couldn't get another one, and with not having used these. So I would pair these with like either a cold brown mohair, and this one I would probably try and find some pink to match, but both of these are like colder pinks and browns, I think. So with the right mohair, I think these would be good. Also, I would most likely wear these slipovers over shirts anyways, so not being like in the prime colors for the summer palette, I think I could get away with it. Anyways, I would love the Gondor vest. It just seems like such a nice little piece to have in my wardrobe. Also, the next on the list is the Hobbiton vest, which is like the same. I believe this has like a faux button band as well, and it's just really cute. And I would buy some of her buttons to go with it, because they are just gorgeous, and I could go into some serious credit card debt on her website this year. So I'll have to watch my online shopping this season and force myself to use some of the yarn I already have, although I'm really tempted to buy some of her Athena and silk mohair for one of these slipovers. So, you know, we'll see how much stash yarn I'm able to get, I'm able to use first, and if I'm treating myself to something new. She has some really gorgeous colorways. And the only thing keeping me from buying at this moment is the fact that the one color I really want in her Athena base is actually sold out at the moment. So if that comes back into stock before Christmas, I'm not sure what I'll be doing. So yeah. And the third vest is also from Fabel, and I believe this would be great for some stash busting. It is her Harlequin vest that is knit in multiple colors in DK weight. So this would be great for getting some of my Peer Gynt out of stash, and I believe I have some different yarns that would be really great for this. So that would be really fun as well. You could do this in like really festive Christmassy colors like white and red and green, maybe purple for Advent, and yeah, it would be really good. And all of these three patterns doesn't use like too much yarn. So I believe this would be great for anyone who has like 1 or 2 skeins of hand-dyed in their stash and need it will probably be a kind of quick project as well. So for anyone who needs like a quick project for some hand-dyed, check out her website. She has some really gorgeous patterns. The next category is skirts, or like skirt, because there's just one skirt, and that is the skirt number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear that she made in this like burgundy tweedy color, and it's just gorgeous. I've never seen myself as someone who wanted to knit like shorts or skirts or pants. I think that like takes it just too far and would make me look a little bit crazy. But I think this is the first skirt I've been like, maybe it's not that crazy. Maybe it would be great having like a hand knit wool skirt. It's a mini skirt as well, which is just really cute. So yeah, I just love it. And it's high up on my inspiration for the winter season this year. Next section is cozy sweaters, and there are 2 of them. The first one I've talked a bit about before, so I won't dwell too much on it, and it is the Olga sweater by Petite Knit. I already have yarn for this in my stash. It's blue and grey, like nothing crazy, but for staple pieces, I love using staple colors, and this is just some drop Slima. I haven't knit anything for myself in drop Slima before, but I'm really tempted to try, just because it's a great way to save some money, and also because this would be a sweater I probably would wear at home a lot. And having a toddler, you just don't want to wear your $150 sweaters at home when you have kids eating yogurt and cheese all day, because there are stains. She drools all over me because she's teething, and yeah, it would be just wonderful to know that if I got any spots or any weird stains on it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I could just use some stain remover, throw it in the wash, and not be too precious about it. So I am tempted to do some more sweaters in like cheaper yarns to wear at home, and the Olga sweater by Petite Knit is one of them. And then there are a sweater that I'm really intrigued by, and that is the Tarot Card sweater by Star-Crossed Knits. This is like a quite basic drop shoulder sweater, but with a tarot card on the front. And I believe you get like a few different tarot cards you could do, like the sun and the moon. And I just really love the thought of this for winter. It's such a witchy, whimsical, magical kind of piece. And I could almost see this as a Christmas sweater, like if you do it in like a burgundy or like a rusty red, if you're one of those kind of seasons. I could see myself knitting it in like these exact colors, because the pattern photos are like blue and white, I believe. But I could really see myself wearing it in a burgundy as well. I could also see myself knitting multiple of these, just because I think they are so cool. I do think you would have to knit some of the colorwork flat, which would be a really great like exercise in knitting colorwork flat. But I think there are quite long stretches. You don't have to keep both of the yarns on your finger. You can kind of like throw with them. Whereas like the porcelain sweater, which I know a lot of people have done, you have to knit a lot, like with 2 colors on your finger at once. And I tried that once and I hated it, but I think I would be willing to try again for the tarot card sweater. Or, you know, I could always just knit the pieces in the round and stick them and just hack it that way, if it's really terrible. But I would be willing to try, I think, for the tarot card sweater. Yeah, I need some more magic in my life, I think, and this would be just great for that. Adding that touch of magic that you really just need in winter, like twinkling lights and golden stars and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and everything to take your mind off the dark days and nights we have here in Norway, and this would just be gorgeous for that. The last category is small projects, and some of these could also be knit in like my smaller skeins of hand-dyed. So the first up is the December bow by Petite Knit. I have had this pattern in my library for years and never made one, but I think this would be just really beautiful to add as like a bow on some vases or something during Christmas, doing like solid color ones for the Christmas tree, anything like that. I think it would also be really gorgeous in variegated colors. I am dreaming of making like a huge December bow to put on my door for when I at some point own a house. Yeah, that would be great. I might have to add some wiring or something to keep the bow in shape. But yeah, the December bow is really cute. You can also wear it in your hair or anything like that. But I haven't made one yet, and I'm intrigued. Maybe I should do one like leading up to Christmas, in the last few days before, when, you know, when we are winding down at work and just things are slowing down a bit. It's still quite busy at work. It's shopping season for people, and we are trying to make people buy our books as Christmas presents. So it's still quite hectic at work until like the middle of December, and after that it kind of winds down and we start thinking about the new year and everything. So maybe I should do like a wind down December bow when we come that far. Next up is a really cute and really just hilarious pattern, which is the Christmas Caramel by Petite Knit. She released this as a free pattern a few weeks ago, and it's just a great little stash buster. It would be great for decorating Christmas presents, for hanging as ornaments on your tree, for adding, like making 2 or 3 to give to friends for Christmas. It would be really cute to do like a solid color as the main color and a hand-dyed for the stripes. There are just lots of variations. I could also picture this as a pillow, so I hope she makes like a Christmas caramel pillow at some point. That would be hilarious. I just love like oversized things. Things that are too big or too small are just the top 10 kinds of humor for me. So an oversized December an oversized Christmas caramel as a pillow in my couch during Christmas, I would love that. And if she doesn't release the pattern, I will find some way to hack this one and make one for myself. Not this year, maybe. I don't think I'll have the time, but maybe next year. Like, picture it in like white and red as a polka Christmas caramel. That would be awesome. Next up on my list is the Poet Scarf by Sari Nordlund, and I want to do that in some of my hand-dyed 50-gram skeins. It would be a great way to get some of my mini skeins out of my stash. Do you call a 50-gram skein a mini skein, or is a mini skein like a 20-gram? I'm not sure. Anyway, I have lots of different 50-gram skeins hand-dyed, and I would love to do something with them. So making small scarves and smaller projects I think would be great. And you know, sometimes hand-dyed can be a bit busy for me to actually wear, but having these scarves to like hang in my future craft room as like little tokens, that would be great. Because I've never been like competing in anything. Like, I was in marching band, and I have never done like sports or horse riding or anything where you can win anything. We did get some like participation medals for going to like festivals and stuff with the marching band, but that's as close as I've ever come. So knitting these like little scarves to keep as almost medals of, and showing how far I've come with my knitting and how much my skill has like improved, that would be great. That would be like the closest thing I could get to an Olympic medal. And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to make these ridiculous tiny little scarves just to hang in my craft room that I probably won't like have until my kids have moved away from home. So it's quite a while until I can have my own dedicated craft room. But at some point we'll be there. And then I'll have all of these little scarves that I can hang as decorations, and no one can stop me. That would be great. Last up on my list is another pattern from Sari Nordlund, and that is the Archer beanie. She has lots of gorgeous beanies, and I love having different hats to switch between, and I could do this in either a hand-dyed or some solid color, and I just think it's a really gorgeous ribbed hat with an interesting way of decreasing. And I would love to do more Sari Nordlund patterns because I haven't really done a lot of hers. But I really enjoy her way of writing patterns, and yeah, I would just be interested in doing more. And I really enjoy having smaller projects on the go as well, just in the background, that are easy to throw in my bag when I'm going to, I don't know, like a conference or something where I have to sit and listen to people for a prolonged period of time, which I'm really bad at. So I need to keep my hands busy if I'm going to be able to sit still for a prolonged period of time. So yeah, some of her beanies, and the Archer beanie specifically, would be awesome to do. Those were all of my plans and inspirations. Oh wow, there's an ambulance on the baby calling. So yeah, those were all of my plans and inspirations for this winter season. Please share with me if there are any one of these that piqued your interest. I would love to hear it. Please share your knitting plans and inspiration with me. Maybe I'll add something to my list, which is already way too long. As I said, I won't be able to get through all of these, but it's great to like have some aspirations for this season as well. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all like not as sick as I've been this past month, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!